What is up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we have a video about music. I know my last video was about photography and editing and stuff like that, but today I actually got several requests for music tutorials, music vlogs, whatever you want to call them. I don't even know what this is. It's a video. It's a video. And you know, I just realized I'm wearing the exact same hoodie I wore last video. I promise I washed it between videos. I just really love this hoodie. It came from Sausalito, California. It is my favorite city in California, actually. You know, everybody, when they go to California, they go to like San Francisco, LA. Sausalito is actually across the bay from San Francisco, and it is the cutest, the just quaint little town. It's so cool. But yet there's still stuff to do there, and there's a really dope ferry, and yeah. Anyway, back to my video. So I had a friend ask me to do a video on my recording setup, and so I'll get into that some in this video. I'll talk about what you need to have to start recording, what you need to do to start recording music, and what you don't have to start recording. You know, there are a lot of people out there who are like, oh, you have to have this whole huge setup, you have to have a studio, you have to have soundproofing, you have to have professional grade mics and software and all that stuff. I'm here to tell you, you don't necessarily have to have it. So, let's get into it. Okay, so first off, I'm going to talk about some of the gear that I use for recording. Behind me, I don't know if you can see it, probably not, but I have a 16-channel PreSonus digital mixer. And long story there, I don't need 16 channels on a mixer. I promise I don't. I'm actually currently using 3 channels on that mixer. And I have this mixer because my church actually, it was left on all summer during summer camp. And that blew the output, because these boards are not meant to be left on all the time. So it blew the output on it, the mono output, that is. And so my church was like, you know what, you record, you can still use the FireWire output for it to connect it to your computer, but you can't use that for a sound system, you know? So they're like, you know what, take it, we don't care. So that's how I have that. But I'm here to tell you, you don't need it. So I'm just gonna go through what I do have, and then we'll talk about, you know, what you should get to start recording. So I have this mixer. I also have this thing. This is a 2-channel PreSonus USB audio box, or audio box USB. This thing is really nifty because it's got the 2 input channels right here. It also has your USB output right here. Trying to get this in focus because my lens is a manual focus lens. So it's got the USB output here, and then you've got 2 MIDI outputs here, which is really handy if you're wanting to use like a, if you're wanting to plug your guitar into this and then record your guitar as a MIDI. This thing can do that. And then we've also got your main outputs and a headphone output. Now, when I was using this to record, I mainly just used the USB output. That was really all I needed it for. But I also use it when I'm performing live for my electric guitar, because I actually don't have an amp for my guitar, and I use digital pedal boards. So I plug my guitar into the audio box, I plug my audio box into my laptop, and then I just do the headphone out of my laptop into wherever I'm playing their sound system. So that way I have this digital interface that really frees me up. It's not cumbersome to lug around to different places that I'm playing at, and it's so helpful. So that's what I use that now for. I also have what I'm running here. I am running Apple's Logic Pro X, the absolute best recording software I've ever used. Before that, I used PreSonus Studio One version 4, Pro version or something like that. They have different stages of it. I've used GarageBand, of course. Yeah, so that's what I've used for software. what I'm recording with right now for my audio is the Audio-Technica AT2020. It is by far my favorite microphone ever on the market. Well, not quite, but it's great for what I'm using it for. It's, you know, it's a three-directional mic. It's an XLR, but you can also get a USB version, which is super helpful if you don't have an audio interface like an audio box or a mixer. And of course, I've got a pop screen for that. You absolutely have to get a pop screen. And then I also have the PreSonus M7 microphone. This thing is really nice. It's, I think about 40 bucks for the mic, and it is actually a decent microphone for its price. There's very little self-noise. It's a condenser, cardioid, unidirectional, just your standard bare bones microphone. Now, this is a microphone that requires 48V or phantom power. In other words, you have to have an audio interface for it that supplies power through an XLR, because it's got that XLR port there. So it's not the best option for a lot of people starting out recording, because a lot of people don't start with an audio interface. But there are a lot of bundles that you can buy of the M7 along with the audio box. They are often sold together. So that's that. And then for my monitor system, I have an amplifier down here that connects to my computer, and then I've got two sets of speakers. I've got two 4-foot speakers over here, set up in like a V pointing in, and then I've got a couple speakers under my desk that really just, they don't do anything except to provide some volume and some lift when I'm listening. And I only use those speakers for mixing. When I'm recording, obviously when you're recording you want to use headphones because you don't want any bleed. So yeah, as far as my headphones, what I'm using, I am actually using some trashy headphones. I mean, they're not trashy, but they're not the best either. They're regular plug-in headphones. There they are. They're like Coda. Yeah, Coda. C-O-D-A. But they are they're over ear, not on ear, or whatever they're called. So when you put them on, they're not squeezing your head. They're super lightweight, which is great for recording because you're wearing them 24/7 basically. But the only problem with these things is that they don't have good bass. And so when you're mixing, they do not give a balanced mix, which really sucks. So for that, I use these Jam headphones. They are Bluetooth, but they are also wired, which is really helpful. My brother actually got me these for Christmas. So these are just for a general mix. They're on ear, so they kind of squish your ear, but their sound mix is really, really good. They're very balanced. So that's basically what I use for recording. So let's get into what you need and what you don't need. So for what you absolutely must have, one microphone. It doesn't need to be the best microphone, it doesn't need to be the most expensive microphone, but you must have a good microphone. My first mic was $30, and I bought it from some sketch website. I can't even remember the website anymore. And it was the microphone with a shock mount and a windscreen. And I got that mic home, and I found out it needed phantom power, and I didn't even know what phantom power was. So yeah, but you need a microphone. Whatever kind of microphone that is, it should be, you know, decent, but not super expensive either. Like I said, I like the AT2020. It's about $100. I got mine for I think 75 used. Really good microphone, zero self-noise. Audio-Technica makes some great mics. You've also got Shure, you've got Rode, you've got yeah, just a bunch of different brands. Research on your own, see what comes up with good reviews, what's cheaper, read the reviews. And who knows, if you guys want me to test a mic for you or, you know, do anything like that, I may do it. I may do a video testing a microphone or something like that. I did not have that first mic anymore. I actually gave it to a friend who was starting up recording. But yes, microphone is imperative. Second thing you need, recording software. A lot of people try to use like voice memos or, you know, just their video app on their phone or whatever, but you must get a recording software for your computer. Whether that's GarageBand, which is free, Audacity, Logic Pro, Studio One, I don't care, but it needs to be a software because you need to learn to go in, do your mix, master it. You know, these are things that you need to learn how to do if you're going to be recording on your own. So, two things, microphone, recording software. Second thing you need to have is a mic stand, because when you're singing you don't want to hold the mic because you're going to be bumping it and it's going to create a lot of noise. So you can get little mic stands that clip onto your desk. Those are really nice, but you want to be standing up, so those aren't always the best option. So get a mic stand, they're like 20 bucks, super cheap investment. If you have a microphone that needs phantom power, you need to get an interface. Whether that's PreSonus, whether it's, I'm trying to remember other companies that make audio interfaces. Don't remember, just Google, you know, like USB audio interface, and it'll pop up. But if your mic needs phantom power, you gotta have that interface. If not, if it plugs into USB, awesome, do that. That's a great way to start. It doesn't make any self noise. It's excellent. Last thing you need to have is all of your appropriate cables. Make sure that you have, if your microphone is an XLR, have an XLR cable. If your microphone has like that MIDI USB cable thing, if that's how it plugs in, make sure you have that. Make sure that you have some auxiliary cables. Any cable that you need, make sure that you have it, because it's really frustrating when you're recording and you're like, oh, I need this cable, and you go to your box and you can't find it anywhere. Also get some adapters. I have here some adapters that are 3.5 millimeter, that's your regular headphone jack, to 1/4 inch. So 1/4 inch is what guitars use. It's that size. So I have 2 of those here. I've got another one somewhere around here. I also have a female 1/4 inch. So that's, female is the one with the hole. Female 1/4 inch to male 3.5 millimeter. So those are helpful. So keep some of those around. I have here an XLR, a female XLR to male 1/4 inch. So this is what I often use, well, until this one started going bad. It has some noise now. This is what I would use when I was recording my guitar, because my guitar is a 1/4 inch, and I found that XLRs are much better with sound. So I just plugged the 1/4 inch in, had the tail off of my guitar, and then I would plug my XLR cable into here. So just get the adapters that you need, get the cables you need, and you should be good to go. Now as far as studio, I'll show you around my studio. It's really nothing. It's my dad's office, it's my mom's office, it's our homeschool book storage whatever thing. Really, it doesn't matter, just make sure that it's carpeted and that there's not a lot of ambient noise. So down here, I'm in the basement. Unless somebody's stomping on my head, you can't really hear anything down here. We've got a space heater that's running right now that I'm sure you can hear, but I just switch that off when I'm recording. It gets rid of that shh noise. But other than that, just make sure that it's quiet, that it doesn't have to be soundproof. I don't have any soundproofing foam up in here. Now, it would be helpful to be in like a little closet with soundproofing foam, so that when you're, because often you have to back away from the microphone to project, and it's helpful in a big room like this. You get a lot of echo off the walls and stuff like that when you back up. So it would be helpful to be in a closet with soundproofing foam, but it's not necessary. The songs that you hear, I'll play some samples for you.
How do we rewrite the stars? Say you were made to be mine. The beginning of a brand new day. You gotta wake up and live a whole new way. 'Cause there's sunshine and it feels right. I'm a silhouette, asking every now and then, is it over yet? Will I ever feel again?
Those songs were just recorded in this room, so, you know, you don't have to have all of that extra stuff. It is helpful, but you don't have to have it. So that's that. I think that should cover everything for a basic understanding of how to get started, what you need to get started on recording. If you guys want to know, my specific setup, how I lay things out, what's most efficient for recording, drop a like, drop a comment, whatever. And I can do further videos, especially drop a comment if there's anything in particular you want me to talk about. I'm definitely not the most experienced or the best, but I have 2 or 3 years of experience under my belt, and I know what works and what doesn't. So yeah, just leave me a comment if there's anything specific you want me to talk about. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash it if that's something you're into, hit the bell button so you get notifications to your inbox, and of course you can follow me on Instagram at Sandwood Streets or at Austin Nathaniel Music, and I'll put those in the description and here on the screen as well. And I hope to see you on the next video. See ya!